Hetepu fam, peace and blessings. This is Derric, RauKhu more. And in this video, I wanted to talk about some of the misconceptions that we have in regards to Christianity and why I think it's important that we actually deal with this. We own this and deal with these misconceptions because it's going to help us to evolve and spiritually grow past the point that we're in. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's just jump right into it. First of all, one of the misconceptions that we have is that we've been taught that when the Europeans went over to Africa, they basically forced the Africans to become Christians. All right. Now, what I found is that that is not totally accurate. Now, there might be some situations, there might have been a case or, occurrences where there were some Africans who were converted to Christianity or forced to Christianity. But what I found out, according to historical records, according to, artifacts and everything, is that the first Africans that encountered the Europeans were from the Kongo-Angolan region. And after they encountered the Europeans, they encountered the Portuguese. Shortly after, the king of the Kongo-Angolan region converted to Christianity. And not too long after that, the king of the king of the Kongo-Angolan region made Christianity the official religion of the Congo Kingdom. Okay? So again, I'm not, according to history, all right? According to history, Europeans didn't just go over and just start forcing people into Christianity, okay? There was a conversion process that took place. And like I said, according to history, that's what happened, all right? Another misconception about this is that we've been taught that when the enslaved Africans were brought over to North America, that they were also forced into Christianity. Okay. And again, found out that's not accurate. That's not true at all. When the first enslaved Africans to arrive on the shores of North America came from the Kongo-Angolan region. All right. And it doesn't matter if they were taken to Spanish Florida or if they arrived in Jamestown, Virginia. The first enslaved Africans were from the Kongo-Angolan region. And if we keep in mind that the Congo king converted to Christianity willingly and eventually made Christianity the official religion of the Congo kingdom, that means that the first enslaved Africans brought from the Kongo-Angolan region were either familiar with Christianity or they were Christians themselves. Okay? So that again, that's shattering that whole myth, that whole misconception that we've had that they forced them into Christianity. Okay. Now, another thing that went ahead and I found was that, remember in, North America, United States became the first country to actually declare sovereignty and become an independent nation. The country after that was Haiti. So, part of the reason why they did not, again, this is a misconception about them converting the Africans into Christianity, is because they saw over here in North America, the slave owners, they saw all these insurrections that were basically taking place and they were religious inspired. And because of them being religious inspired, along with the Haitian Revolution, that made a lot of slave owners here in North America refuse to convert Africans and their descendants in North America to Christianity. Because what they did not want was, they did not want the enslaved Africans to confuse the message of salvation with the message of freedom from slavery. So as a result, they did not convert them to Christianity because of that reason. They did not want them to confuse those two concepts, and that's the reason why they did not convert them to Christianity. Okay, So, again, these are things in which we've been told and we've been taught about Christianity. But like I said, in order for us to actually really understand and accept, and we have to own this, in order for us to really grow, we got to really accept and understand and own what really happened in regards to Christianity, and what really happened in regards to how we feel the way we feel now. Why are we in such a spiritual paralysis when it comes to the church? Okay? Now, other thing that I found out based upon history and based upon historical records is that it wasn't until the Second Great Awakening in North America that a lot of enslaved Africans and their descendants converted to Christianity. Okay? And when they converted to Christianity, they converted to, the most popular Christian denominations at the time, Baptist and Methodist, which continues to exist to this day. All right. So it wasn't until the Second Great Awakening that people went ahead and they really started converting to Christianity. So what that means is from the early, 16, 17, hundreds or so, all the way until somewhere around the 1800s or so, that the enslaved Africans and their descendants were for the most part allowed to practice their spirituality for almost 100 or so years. Okay? Now, I want you to keep that in mind, because like I said, if they didn't convert people into Christianity, they didn't force people to become Christians when they were over in Africa. They didn't force people to become Christians when they brought them over here to North America. And it's not until the Second Great Awakening that a lot of enslaved Africans and their descendants become Christians. Then what happened between the Second Great Awakening and today, why we have all these different churches all over the place? Think about that for a minute. What really happened? Okay? This is something that we have to ask our ancestors. This is something that we have to really go ahead. We have to really go into some deep meditation about to find out what took place. Now, I went ahead and I asked my ancestors, and one of the things that basically came up and helped me to realize some things was that it wasn't Europeans that caused this great spiritual demise. It was our own folks who basically went ahead and accepted this Christian way of trying to become more, trying to assimilate and become better Americans. This is what caused part of the issue. And this is, from my understanding, this is the reason why we have all these different churches all over the place. Okay? So, when I accepted that and accepted the fact that part of the reason why we're in the situation we're in regards to spirituality, in regards to everything, is due to the assimilation process, this is one of the reasons why I was able to basically free myself from this, because I understand now that part of the reason why we have the problems that we're having is because they are self-inflicted. Okay? And that's what we have to really come to grips with. A lot of the things that are going on within our community are self-inflicted. And this is the reason why it's very difficult for us to go ahead and try to save someone and try to help someone who does not want to admit and accept the fact that part of the reason why they're suffering is because they are inflicting themselves. They are inflicting themselves based upon their own demise, based upon everything that they're experiencing. Okay? So, wanted to share that with you because, like I said, if you don't understand that and you don't have that conversation with your ancestors, and I mean literally sit down and talk to your ancestors about it, you will be struggling and you'll be trying to practice your ancestral way, and you'll hear them in the background, just talking up a storm and trying to deter you away from doing things, because they're up under the mindset that what they were doing was the correct thing of doing. It was the correct thing to do. All right. And what we have to tell them in this lifetime is, yeah, that was correct back then, maybe, but this is a different time. This is a different thing that we have to do. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully that helps you in your growth in regards to even working with your ancestors or so. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that kind of resonates and you get a better understanding in regards to why you might be going back and forth on some things in regards to doing this. As I've stated before, thanks again for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you got any questions, feel free to drop me a line. Until next time, Hetepu. Peace.
Just take it on. Just take it on to the house. Come on, Tigolo. Be strong. Be strong, Tigolo. Be strong. Just take it home.